There we go. Okay, you can hear me now. Okay, that's good. I was, oh, jeez. This isn't the first time that's happened. But hello. How is everyone doing? How are we? Hi Shri, how we doing? Hi Ravenous Puncher. Welcome to the stream. Okay, there we go. That's better. Okay, how we doing? Okay, cool. We're back. Yes, Ravenous Puncher, you are back. Oh god. I see you've got the membership back, which is good to hear, good to see. Very, very happy about that. Glad to see you got it sorted out. Obviously my Guardians video's up now as well, on the membership, which is cool. So yeah, share the stream around. Why was your mic off? It just always is. For some reason, when you open up OBS, everything kind of just gets set to like default, and I have no idea why the mic just goes off. Yeah. It's yeah. Hi Alex. If 1966 Batman is in an S tier, I'm leaving. Batman. We're not ranking Batman. Ranking MCU characters, which should be good. I should do a Batman tier list though at some point. Lewis, after watching Guardians, how do you feel about Gunn's leadership at DC? Very confident. In fact, we'll probably talk about this at the end of the stream. This is gonna have to be a quick fire stream though, just because I've got work tonight and I've got to be somewhere before work as well. So, yeah, gonna have to be a quick fire stream. But we will talk about Gunn at DC at some point in the stream. Oh, you can do quizzes on polls now on community tabs now. Do you know that? Oh, I'll be utilizing that. But yeah, hope everyone's okay. Just sharing the stream around. Make sure to share the stream around as well, guys. So we can get as many people in here as possible before we get going. Who's feeling extra pull today? I'm feeling extra pull because I'm feeling extra pull because it is coming tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Next Wednesday is when the next issue comes out. And I'm very, very excited to see what they do. In a bad way. In a bad way. Why is the thumbnail Marvel Spider-Man? Is anyone... What's the thumbnail? Why is it Marvel Spider-Man? I changed it. That's annoying. Oh well. Okay. I heard a rumor that James Gunn was set to direct TASM 3. If so, I think Sony missed an opportunity after Gunn was fired from Marvel. They could have made him head of the SSU and reboot Holland. It would have been interesting to see because I think it's quite cool that like I think it's cool how involved James Gunn is with like superheroes and stuff. But yeah. Yeah. What characters from other Marvel movies would you like to see in Secret Wars, assuming it is multiversal? I'd really like to see Toby and Andrew, obviously. I'd like to see Hugh Jackman come back. I think that'd be really cool. I mean, it's the end game of every Marvel movie, right? After No Way Home, Tom Holland could have been rebooted with SSU with Gunn at the helm. I mean, possibly. We don't really know, though, do we? Anyway, let's get into this. So we're going to be ranking all the MCU characters today. First up, we have Bucky. Where are we putting Bucky? We're going to go through all of them. This is the main superheroes, by the way. So this isn't the villains. We already did the villains. Question, when did you film True Intentions? We filmed it at the end of February, actually, which was cool. But yeah. Bucky is a B. I'd agree. I think Bucky is somewhere around B tier. For me, Bucky is kind of like... I feel like his character runs out of things to do. So he was good for a certain amount of time. Like, he was good up until... I think Falcon and the Winter Soldier did something interesting with him. But I think now he's kind of just... He's going to be there. You know what I mean? He's going to become like the new Hawkeye. I feel like he doesn't really have anything else to do. Lewis, your reaction on the Flash trailer 2. Let's get nuts. Oh, yeah. That was cool. That was cool. But anyway, yeah. But Bucky, I think he's more of like a B. Falcon. What are we saying about Falcon? What are we saying about Falcon? Because for me, Falcon is like, he's one of those characters that I think when it comes to Falcon, him, thoughts on Spectacular Spider-Man showing up in Spider-Verse, I'm excited. Yeah, Falcon's an A. Because it's more like he's got loads of potential going forward. I think, actually, to be honest with you, at the moment, for me, I think he's a B. He's a B. I think he's got loads of potential, and I'm excited, but he's kind of on that cusp. I'm desperately waiting for Cap New World Order. Yeah, New World Order is going to be insane. Hopefully it'll be insane. Anyway, New World Order might be really cool. I think after New World Order, he'd probably go up into the A/S tier kind of character, but at the moment, I think he's still B for me. Quicksilver, I think, automatically is a D. He has a lot to play in Scarlet Witch's story in the MCU, but I think he doesn't really do much himself. I think we can all agree to that, right? We can all agree with that. Scarlet Witch herself, but if there was no reason for Falcon to sympathize with Carly and hate John Walker. I thought the ending of Falcon and Winter Soldier was weak, but it is what it is. Anyway, moving on to Scarlet Witch. Where are we at with Scarlet Witch, by the way? Is she a good character? Is she not a good character? I want to know what you guys think, because this is an interesting one for me, personally. For you guys, I don't know if you have a dead set opinion, or you're kind of on the fence a little bit like I am. Is there going to be a True Intention cinematic universe? Oh, God. No, there won't be. Unfortunately. Alex says a B or an A. B or an A for Scarlet Witch. B or an A. Yeah, I could agree with that. I think an A. I think A is probably about right for Scarlet Witch for me. I think she would be an S tier character, but I think how they handled her in Multiverse of Madness wasn't very good. In terms of, there were better ways of executing her character. At the end of WandaVision, if she wasn't redeemed, then it would have made her appearance in Multiverse of Madness so much better. I just think the fact that they used a MacGuffin to swindle her character back into villainy, I didn't like that at all. No, Lewis, she sucks. Wanda is a poor character. I like Wanda. Wanda from Age of Ultron to Civil War, how she's emotionally affected by the events of Civil War, because she basically triggers that whole line of events, to then losing Vision. I think she's got such good raw material. Her character makes so much, and then WandaVision creating what's the town called now? I forgot what the town called. What's the town called? I don't know. I forgot what it's called. But creating the town with all the people inside it and creating this fantasy land makes total sense. It's a completely in character reaction to what happened to her in the last couple of years, and I completely understand it. It's just what happened after WandaVision. I'm not so sure I agree with how they handled her character then, but up until then, I think she was really good. Wanda triggered Ultron in Civil War, FYI. Yeah, exactly. She did. That's great. Wanda is the single most character I hate in the MCU, even more than MJ Watson. Wanda deserves no sympathy. No, but that's good. That means she's a good character because you hate her because of the events and the pain that she caused the other characters in the MCU. This means that her role was fulfilled in the universe. I think what we're talking about here is, are they a good character? Are they a good... Not, do you like them? Are they a good character? Like, I don't particularly like, for example, Thanos, right? I wouldn't necessarily like it if he destroyed half the universe. Not really. I love the character though. The character's great. Do I really like them as person? Not really. Wanda kind of caused a lot of stuff, and in Multiverse of Madness, wouldn't really want to come into contact with her, if you know what I mean. Wouldn't want to see her in a dark alley. Let's just put it that way. Alright? So, yeah, but she's a good character because people fear her. People know what she's capable of. She's lost so much, and she caused so many events in the MCU. And she was affected by that. She was put through trauma. I really liked WandaVision, says Alex, but I understand if it isn't for everyone. When can we expect next Spectacular Spider-Man eps? Are they ready to go? You still got to edit. By the way, appreciate your channel. Keep up the good work. Well, thank you very much for that. I do appreciate that. Yeah, so Lewis Fiction and Lewis News are currently on hiatus. until further notice, until I finish my assessments. So I'm in my final year at uni, so I decided to take some time from those channels to focus in on my uni stuff. Once that's done, LewisFilms and Lewis Fiction and Lewis News are straight back to how they were previously, and then videos will continue. But until then, they're all on hiatus. I'm just focusing on LewisFilms because, you know, it's the main channel. Right, Star-Lord. What are we saying about Star-Lord anyway? Star-Lord, I mean, what can I say? If you haven't seen Guardians 3, obviously, I won't talk spoilers. But what can I say? Ravenous Puncher says 8. Shri asks, what are your predictions on Venom 3? I think that's a whole other discussion we can have. I don't really know. The thing is, with the Venom movies, they are basically just bang average comedies. Not really too interested in what the movie has to offer, unless Madam Web is really good, because I know there's been some connections between them. But until then, I'm not really too bothered. Star-Lord is a B. Consider Infinity War. Once again, Ravenous Puncher, I don't think we're basing it off how much we like the character. Because Star-Lord should be a D, all things considered, right? He's an asshole. He single-handedly caused the death of trillions of people, right? But it was in character, and it made sense. Is he a good character for that moment? Characters can have ups and downs. Like if Peter Parker decides to kill someone, right? Is that in character for the moment? Is he wearing the symbiote? Does it make sense for the story? Obviously, people might say he killed someone. That's not great. But is it? Same thing could be applied here. He completely screwed up the whole Avengers' whole plan. So it's like, so we're ranking them how the characters made us feel. Well, essentially, yes. You've got to take into consideration. It's not like, oh, do you like this character? If I was going to go off, do I like this character? It was, okay, well, let's just say, for example, I would put, how do I like this character? I'd be like, oh, Scott Lang's an S. He's great. Groot's a D because he doesn't really do much. I don't know who else I can use as an example here. I love Hulk. He's an S. However, I'm not the biggest fan of Captain America, so I'd put Captain America in C. But obviously, that's not how that works, because obviously some of these characters are better than others, and Captain America is a freaking fantastic character. But we're looking at it more objectively rather than how this character is, like, how I feel about this character in terms of do I like them or not. It's like, are the decisions that character makes in the movie informed by the plot, informed by the narrative, informed by other characters, and informed by the baseline of, like, the characters, the character themselves. Like, are they in character, right? How the characters are written and if their motivations make sense. Yeah, exactly, right? So it's like, is Star-Lord a well-written character? In Infinity War, he's a brilliantly written character. That moment where he punches Thanos in the face is emotionally driven, makes total sense for the character, and drives the plot. Brilliantly written character there. 3 points as to why. Doesn't necessarily mean we have to like what he does, because we don't. But that is why it's brilliantly written. So Star-Lord, for me, is an S. I think Star-Lord is one of those characters where he hasn't been written badly in any of the movies, apart from Avengers Endgame, because his return to Earth should have been acknowledged, because that's the theme throughout the three Guardians movies, right? The Guardians trilogy, Star-Lord's whole story is about the connection he has to Earth and like how he's emotional about returning there because his mother died. And then he returns to Earth in Endgame, and you're kind of just like, well, this should be a bit more of a bigger moment. But obviously, the whole final battle undercut that moment anyway. But apart from that, Star-Lord is a brilliantly written character. For me, anyway. Star-Lord's reaction on Yondu's death was a brilliant moment and made me brawl. Yeah, exactly, right? So the character's brilliant. Lewis, can you do a Carnage laugh or a Joker laugh? I think I can do a Joker laugh, kind of. I voice acted the Joker a few times back in my voice acting days. I don't voice act anymore. I'm thinking about making a return, actually, but I don't know. Gamora. Let's move on to Gamora. Now, I don't know if you guys haven't seen Guardians 3, then you won't be able to comment on on my opinion on Gamora. Lewis, please say let's get nuts. Let's get nuts. No, I can't do it. I can't ever be Michael Keaton. Gamora for me. Oh. Yeah, so I'm going to just put this out there. Both Ravenous Puncher, both pre-Infinity War and post-Infinity War. Obviously the same character. Well, they're not the same. They are the same character. It's technical, right? Gamora's an S. Gamora is an S. If you haven't seen Guardians 3, then I'm not going to say anything, but Gamora's an S for me. I love Gamora. I love Gamora. I think Gamora's a great character. Oh, Gamora's fantastic. And I'm really sad that Zoe Saldana has said that she's not going to play her again. Because I really want to see more. Gamora's an S for me. Captain America. I think this is easy. He's an S, right? Let's be honest. Captain America is an S character. I'm not a big fan of Captain America. Never have been. I get the purpose of him because the point of Captain America is obviously he's this static character with static morals that has to react to how the world is changing around him. That's kind of always been Captain America's thing, right? So in the 1940s, he has the morals that fit in with how the U.S. Army works, with how everything works politically. We get to Winter Soldier. He finds out policies are corrupt. Hydra is actually S.H.I.E.L.D. A bunch of other stuff's happening, and he wants to fight for freedom, and that's all he wants to fight for. That's his whole purpose. That's all he ever wants to do, right? And then we get to Captain America: Civil War, and this is put to the test. The big finale for Captain America and his movies and his character is his morals are put to the test. When it comes to the Avengers are going to be split up because is his freedom really the right way? Should all superheroes reveal their identities, sign the accords? It's a massive divide, and there's points for both sides. And Captain America is at the center of that. And I think the way that they built up, the way that he stands on such a moral high ground throughout the rest of the MCU, really, really added to Civil War. If Civil War had happened a couple of movies earlier, I don't think it would have had the impact that it could have had. It's just the fact that we had Winter Soldier before, and we had First Avenger before, and we had the Avengers before, and we had Age of Ultron before, that it really added all this up into this movie. And Captain America is a brilliant character. And then obviously those ideals go forward into Infinity War and Endgame. Steve Rogers is similar to Tobey's Peter Parker. They both have strong moral compasses. Yeah, they do. Winter Soldier is a masterpiece. Yeah, Winter Soldier is great. Hi, 24 Bricks. How are we doing? Hope we're having a good day. Yeah, Captain America is an S character. 100%. Right, Hulk. The Hulk. This is original Hulk, because I see we do have Professor Hulk on here, and also Bruce Banner as well. Well, I mean, Hulk for me, I guess he's a C, right? He doesn't really do much. I guess that's down to Universal not allowing the distribution rights to a Hulk solo film, which is why Hulk's been so mistreated in the MCU, because he can only appear in crossovers, right? He can't appear in solo movies, so there isn't a lot of development that has been handed to him. Even though they tried to give him an arc over Ragnarok, Infinity War, and Endgame, it wasn't as good as it could have been. Hulk is my top 3 favorite characters, but the MCU ruined him. Yeah, the MCU didn't do as good as a job with them as they possibly could have. Now, they could have done a crossover movie where Hulk was the main character. That was definitely a possibility. But then, obviously, there might have been a bunch of legal stuff, and that's why they never did a Hulk solo movie past the first one. I don't think the Russos destroyed him. I think the Russos did what they could have done with him, because there is only so much you can do with Hulk in a 3-part crossover series of movies with one character. When you've got to focus on Tony Stark, you've got to focus on Thor, you've got to focus on Captain America, you got to focus on other characters like the Guardians as well. There was only so much they could have done with him. World War Hulk is rumored, Lewis, and we're going to get... I don't think World War Hulk will happen. I just don't see it happening. I don't think it'll happen. Groot. Yeah, Groot's a B, right? He's Groot. Nah, he's a C. He's more like Hulk, isn't he? He just kind of does stuff. Drax, the Destroyer. Now, what do you guys think about Drax? Now, I've seen Guardians 3, so I'm going to say this about every Guardians character. Drax is a B. Before Guardians 3, Drax was a C. Drax is a B. Because Drax had stuff to do in Guardians 1. His character was solid. Guardians 2, I think he fell off a bit. Infinity War and Endgame, he just became a joke. Guardians 3, however, I think pulls him back for me. Obviously, not going to talk about it, but he's a B. He's a B for me. Rocket Raccoon. I mean, easy A, right? Easy A. I mean, I just saying, right? Easy A. Easy A. Not going to say why if you haven't seen Guardians 3. Rocket is an A. S, sorry. The problem was that the MCU nurtured excuse me. I think that's meant to say neutralized OP villains so that Tony, Peter, and Steve don't get splattered within 2 seconds. Yeah, I mean that's the thing, right? You gotta nerf villains, right? Sometimes you gotta nerf heroes and villains for the sake of the story. Scott Lang. Now, obviously, I think Ant-Man gets a bad rap because of Quantumania, but before then, I don't think he was that bad of a character. I think he's more of a B, but I think he's like there, like he's above Drax. He's not above Falcon though. I think he's there. What do you guys think? Let me know. Obviously, we've got a lot more to go through. I'm gonna have to speedrun these. Ant-Man Quantumania is a C. Before Quantumania was an A. Damn. So really, Ant-Man got affected that bad for you? Damn. For me, he's a B. I do believe that Quantumania did really, really screw with his character. Ant-Man pre-Quantumania was B, now C, yeah. I think Ant-Man is an A, says Daniel's World. Yeah, he's like an A-B character, but I think he's really been affected by Quantumania. Yondu's great. He's a B. He's a B-type character. He doesn't have that much to do, but his influence over the story, especially the Guardians trilogy, is it's unmatched. How a dead character can have that much a dead character with like 15 minutes screen time can have that much influence over a whole trilogy is absolutely insane. So Yondu, I get respect. I have respect for because his influence on the story is impeccable. Yondu is definitely Star-Lord's daddy, yeah. War Machine. Here's the thing with War Machine. War Machine doesn't really have much to do past Civil War. Like, I know his character will be revitalized and will be brought back during Armor Wars, and I'm sure we're going to get a lot more from him there. But apart from that, he hasn't done much. And his character hasn't really gotten anything specific to him. I think I'm going to have to give... It's a low B for War Machine. For me, anyway. I think a big part of Rhodey's character was tied so close to Tony Stark that now that Tony's gone, War Machine's just kind of fallen off the radar. Rhodey's also in Secret Invasion. Yeah, he's also in Secret... But I imagine, because that obviously that story's going to be heavily focused on Nick Fury, I imagine a big part of his character in the new phases is going to be a part of Armor Wars. I think I think B is perfect for War Machine. Yeah, I agree. Right, Vision. Let's talk about Vision. Now, Vision is another one of those, isn't he? He's another one of those. He doesn't really have... I'd give him above Drax. I'd give Vision another B. I think he's one of those characters that, obviously, it was hard to take in places anyway because of... Actually, you know what? No, I'll give Vision an A. I'll take it back. I give Vision an A because I love how they treat his AI transformation to kind of more of a humane character in the MCU. I like that very subtle arc that they give him. Vision S for me. I love WandaVision so much. They're both A's for me. Do you think we'll get an X-Men versus Avengers movie in the MCU? Yeah, we will. 100% at some point. That's without doubt. The Wasp, once again, she kind of just falls off after the first movie. Don't really think she has much to do. She is a C. I think she's above Hulk, but she's a C. She's like mid to high C. T'Challa, aka pre-Infinity War B tier, Infinity War C tier, overall B tier, not as good as the comics. Yeah, C tier for Wasp. Yeah, everyone kind of says C tier. Yeah, Wasp was wasted. Yeah, Wasp was wasted heavily in Quantumania. She shouldn't have even been in the title because it was solely. It should have been Ant-Man and Cassie Lang, Quantumania. It shouldn't have been Ant-Man and the Wasp because the Wasp had absolutely nothing to do with the plot. Unless we're talking about Janet Van Dyne Wasp, then that counts. Black Panther for me is an A. Obviously, rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. Yeah. Black Panther as a character was A for me. Still is. He's yeah. I mean, the influence T'Challa had over the story. His character was great in Civil War. Probably one of the best introductions we've had in the MCU. The movie was great. His character is still remembered in Wakanda forever. I just feel as if Black Panther's character would have been an S if, obviously, unfortunately, we didn't sadly lose Chadwick Boseman. And he would have gone on to probably be one of the MCU. He probably would have gone on to be one of the MCU's best characters of all time. And it saddens me that we never got to see that. But from what we did get from Black Panther, he was pretty good. I definitely think he's probably above these two. That's for sure. Yeah, Doctor Strange S tier. What's your opinion on the first Black Panther? I like it. I think it's a good movie. Right? Yeah, Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange. I'm gonna shock a lot of people here. I'm gonna really shock a lot of people. It's a B tier. He's probably below Bucky. I love Doctor Strange. Right? Doctor Strange is one of my favorite Marvel characters of all time. Okay, Doctor Strange. Right. So, as you guys probably know, the comics for me, I only really read the Spider-Man comics. And if it isn't obvious in the content that I do, then, I don't really read the Spider-Man comics that often, right? No, I do. Sorry. Spider-Man comics are the only comics that I read. I do read other Marvel comics here and there, but not as frequently. Doctor Strange is one of those characters where I love him from the comics. I love him just in general. I think he's probably one of my favorite characters. But his character is poorly written in the MCU. I'm sorry. Right. The first Doctor Strange movie, great. Right? The way they handled Stephen Strange's character, it was great. But every single appearance after the first Doctor Strange movie, he's only been used as a plot device. Multiverse of Madness, in comparison to the MCU movies that we've gotten recently, wasn't even that bad. But the issue I have is that he was used as a plot device in his own film. Like, the issue with Doctor Strange is that his power set is that and the powers that he possesses and the issues that they bring on are at the center of every story and not the dramatic context that needs to come from the character. And yes, we did. Sam Raimi did try to implement some stuff with Doctor Strange, through the whole watch thing, and they tried to put some arc in there for him. But thinking back to it, I just don't think he was written as good as he could have been. Multiverse of Madness destroyed Strange. Also in No Way Home, Strange was brain dead. Yeah, in No Way Home, he was used as a plot device as well. Had no real character in there. Was kind of just there because Spider-Man needed to use his powers. Once again, like I mentioned, prove my point. Alright. Wong. Now, Wong is a fan favourite. Wong is a fan favourite character. Everyone loves Wong. Everyone loves Wong. But, unfortunately, he doesn't have much to do. He's kind of just in this area, right? He kind of also suffers. He kind of suffers from the same thing that Doctor Strange does, where he kind of just shows up. His powers are cool. He does some stuff with his powers, like in She-Hulk, like in Shang-Chi as well, and then he just dips. Doesn't really have much more to his character. He's just kind of there. Mantis, Wong and Morbius, the S tier duo. Wong is B tier because he's not too important. Yeah, I guess you could say with Doctor Strange, his character has to be important, and the fact that he isn't is bad. Wong is like a side character, so you can bump him up because his purpose isn't to be in that role that Doctor Strange should be. So I guess you could give that argument, but then again, Wong has also appeared so many times that you could probably consider him one of the main heroes of the MCU now. Like, how many times has he appeared? He was in She-Hulk, Shang-Chi, Infinity War, Endgame, Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. He's been in the MCU at least 6 times. Like, he should have something by now. Like, even with Hulk, as we were mentioned before, they gave him something. Mantis is a D, I don't care. Morbius 2, Pauls of Paulas. Oh, God, not Paul again. You know, we'll do a Paul live stream, actually, at some point. Actually, you know what? Next Friday's live stream. Oh, I'll be doing a live stream. I'll be away next weekend, actually, but I'll still be doing a live stream on Friday, hopefully, at some point. During that live stream, we'll talk about the comic, actually, because Paul plays a really big role in the next comic that comes out. So we'll be talking about Paul. Is Wong more powerful than Strange? Well, he's a Sorcerer Supreme at the moment. So, well, technically he's not, because Strange will always be the more powerful one, but Wong is Sorcerer Supreme. So, he's in a higher rank than Strange at the moment. Make Mantis tier, a.k.a. the trash tier. No one loves Mantis. Have you guys seen Guardians 3? If you guys have seen Guardians 3, you'll have a whole different... Right, listen, Guardians 3 did justice to so many of these characters, and I can't even explain why, because I'd get into spoilers. But Mantis for me is a B tier. Usually she would have been a C, but now she's a B, because I love Mantis's character now. I don't love her. I don't love Mantis's character, but she's better than she was before. In fact, they gave her something to do. She's like there, right? Is she above Scott Lang? She's probably like that. She's with Drax, right? Mantis is underrated. I agree. Lewis Guardians 3 is an S tier for you. The more I think about it, kinda, yeah. Maybe, I don't... Let me just pop him right there to the top of... Let me just pop him to the top of S tier real quick. Just gonna slip that in there. Yeah, I mean... Well, I'll have to think about it more. I was gonna release my review tomorrow, but I'm gonna wait till more people have seen it, because for most of the world, the movie came out today, so I don't really give one day to talk about spoilers. So I'm gonna release it next Wednesday. Instead, so to give people more time to watch it. Spider-Man, 10 out of 10, 100 out of 100, S tier. Spider-Man is S tier. He's goated. Spidey 100% deserves S tier. Sorry, Lewis, but Cap, Spidey. Oh no. Not gonna lie, Tom Spidey is underrated. Yeah, can we just talk about this for a second? Tom Spider-Man is underrated. I mean, let's be honest. Most people hate Tom Spider-Man, but I don't understand why. I mean, maybe I think it's more to do with the fact that they prefer Tobey's Spider-Man. And I think it's... Because let's be honest, if Tom's Spider-Man was the only Spider-Man we ever got, ever in live action, I think less people would hate him. I think he'd probably be universally praised. But I think it's the fact that we got Tobey's and Andrew's before, that I think people have something to compare to. So they like the different vibes, they like the different styles. Tom Spider-Man is written horribly, says Ravenous Puncher, and the writers think children are dumb. I disagree with you there. I think Tom Spider-Man is written perfectly. I think he's written... I mean, okay, I'll give you the exception of Far From Home. The more I think about that movie, the more that I watch it, and the same with Ray and a couple of my friends as well, when we all talk about Spider-Man. Far From Home always drops down our list whenever we talk about Spider-Man. But I think Homecoming and No Way Home were very, very good movies. And I don't think he was written too badly in Infinity War as well. And I'm really excited for MCU Spider-Man 4. He was incredible in No Way Home. Same here. Korg! Korg's funny, right? Korg's funny. He's kind of C. He's in the this category. He's funny. He serves his purpose. I think we have to look at it in a way where I forgot who it was. Was it 24 Bricks mentioned that you have to kind of look at the characters of how they serve their purpose to the story. Doctor Strange's purpose to the universe is huge, especially now that Tony's gone and the original Avengers are kind of broken down. Doctor Strange has to step up, and it's kind of disappointing that he hasn't already. But I think Korg serves his purpose as the comic relief, and I think he's an alright job. So you can't put him in D. I think C is fine. Korg's B tier because he's funny and he's part of Love and Thunder. Yeah, well, the fact that he's part of Love and Thunder puts him down. Sorry. Hi, Cosmic Bazooka. How we doing? Yes. So, Valkyrie. Let's talk about Valkyrie. I think Valkyrie, for me, is a low C tier. Very low. Almost high D. Because going back to that point of the characters serving the purpose that they're meant to, I think Valkyrie had to step up in Love and Thunder, and I think Love and Thunder, obviously, you know my opinions on Love and Thunder. I don't like the movie, and I think it treated its characters horribly. I think it wasn't a very good movie, and I think she's been dragged down by that. I think she was great in Ragnarok. I'd love to see more of her. I'd love to see how her character's handled, but unfortunately, she was handled in a poor manner. It's been a while since I've joined your stream. Well, welcome back, Cosmic Bazooka. It's good to have you back. Shuri. Shuri is surely one of the MCU's best characters now, especially after Wakanda Forever. She is up there with T'Challa. She's a high A tier. I would almost put her in S tier, but I think she needs to appear more, because she was kind of in that kind of like Wong kind of category before she had to step up to be the lead of the Black Panther trilogy, or the franchise, sorry. She had to fill in those shoes left behind by T'Challa in the MCU. So I think obviously she had to step up, so she wasn't already up to that standard in terms of writing and a character being kind of the centerpiece and the most important character in the franchise. But now that she is, I think she's kind of getting there. They handled her brilliantly in Wakanda Forever, probably one of my favorite MCU movies from the past couple of years, and I'm really excited to see her go forward in the next one and in the next crossover movies. Shuri is C. I don't like Shuri one bit. So I mean, listen. People might not like Shuri. I thought they handled Shuri really well. I think her connection with T'Challa was really good, and I think her arc through the movie was great. Captain Marvel, what can I say? She is a D. Captain Marvel. Yeah. I mean, I've only seen Captain Marvel once. And I know that her character isn't written very well. She comes off as pretentious. They tried to do a whole zero to hero thing, like kind of figuring out who she is kind of thing. It didn't work. I don't know. People unnecessarily hate Captain Marvel for no reason. The movie is great, but the hate is unwarranted. It wasn't great, but the hate is unwarranted. I don't know. I just think she's a really poor character. I hope the Marvels does her justice, though. I really hope the Marvels does her justice. In all honesty, Monica Rambeau as well. She's in that C tier. Obviously, only one appearance in WandaVision, so we can't really talk about her that much. I felt like her being pretentious was a part of her. It could have been. Maybe I misinterpreted it. Like I said, I've only seen the movie once, so maybe D is unfair from me. But I'll have to rewatch the movie. But from what I remember, she was really pretentious. Because from what I remember, they tried to do an arc of kind of a whole like a zero to hero thing, like her figuring out who she is, but it came off as pretentious, like really pretentious. It wasn't earned, sort of thing. Anyway, I'll have to rewatch the movie. Monica is high B or low A. 24 Bricks really likes Monica Rambeau. For me, at the moment, she hasn't had enough appearances to really prove herself. I think the Marvels, once again, we will come back to Monica Rambeau. Shang-Chi. Yeah, he's in that A category, isn't he? Great character. Only one appearance, though, but he was the main character, and he was written really well. And if that's the standard of Shang-Chi going forward in the MCU, then I'm alright with that. Shang-Chi is an A. A of a character. Great character in one movie. Perfect. He was great. Isn't enough to certify him as an S. An S is for a character that has been consistently good over a long period of time. But A is for those characters that have been on and off, but when they're good, they're really good. Or characters that have had like one or two movies, but they're great. Right. Natasha. Right, okay. Natasha Romanoff. I think Black Widow as a movie is a bit mid, but the way that they portrayed her character and the information they gave on her backstory was pretty cool. So I didn't think that was bad. I've always liked Natasha. As a character. Yeah, I mean, she didn't really get that much to do, did she? The Black Widow movie was too little, too late. If it came out in between Civil War and Infinity War, then maybe we would maybe we would have a different conversation here. But yeah, I think she's a B, along with Bucky. She's about there, right? She's about there. Black Widow deserves A tier. Yeah, she's almost there for me, right? Natasha is S, that's 24 bricks. Natasha is B, low B. Reverend Sponge says, Shang-Chi is overrated. Oh, isn't overrated. No, he's not overrated. I don't think so anyway. I don't think he's overrated. Oh, 24 bricks says Shang-Chi's overrated. Right, Moon Knight. We've got all three of his personalities here. But I think we count him as one character because he's been written by the same person. Or do we? No, we can rank all three personalities. Moon Knight is an S tier. Mark and Steven are both S. They are super underrated. Moon Knight is high A. Love the show. For me, see, I watched Moon Knight really slowly. I couldn't get into it, but I have seen Moon Knight. Yeah, he's like a B. He's like a B. He's like there, right? He's like there. And then Mr. Knight. Have I read Moon Knight comics? I have read Moon Knight comics. Actually, it's funny you mentioned that. I said I don't read Marvel comics. I've read quite a few, but not consistently. Moon Knight. I've actually read Moon Knight comics. I do like the Moon Knight comics. I read was it the 2016 run? They did a reboot, right? It wasn't a reboot, but it was like a retelling of the origin. I think the run was in 2016. Mr. Knight. I think we just grouped them all together, right? I think we just grouped them all together. I want Kraven versus Moon Knight in the MCU. R-rated Kraven would fit perfectly here. That would be really cool. Right, okay. Okay, so America Chavez. What are we saying about America Chavez? You guys, what are we saying? Jake Lockley's a D tier because he's a filler character. I'd say we just group them together. Because I think they all complement each other, right? That's the whole purpose of there being multiple personalities. So I think it's unfair to rank them like differently, other than, oh, who's your favorite? But then we just fall into the trap of just, who we prefer is like a character, like a person, right? Who do you think is the coolest type thing? But I think when you look at it like structurally, when you look at it narratively, you have to kind of consider, well, they complement each other, so you kind of have to rank them all together, right? Chavez's was all over the place. Yeah, no, for me, she's low C. She's got potential, but I do not like at all how they did her character at all. Lewis, are you going to do part 2 of your revisit to Spider-Man PS4? Yes, I will. I'll be going back to that. Right, okay. Oh my god. Yeah, everyone's saying C. Yeah, only one appearance. Yeah, she could improve. She's got potential, but I wasn't so sure. Okay, so now we're moving on to the Multiverse of Madness characters. So, what are we saying? Multiverse of Madness, is it a good movie? Is it a bad movie? I know it was a debate. Defender Strange is F tier. F, so we're creating a whole new category. A D, E, F. Lewis, where's Walker? Well, technically he's a villain, right? John Walker's technically a villain. So, he's an antagonist. Quote, unquote. Fun movie, says Alex. Defender Strange, I mean, he didn't really do much, did he? Didn't really do much. He was just Doctor Strange. Damn, you're still streaming. Love it. Oh, Spidercraft. That's Ray. It was rushed because of Sony, but still, it's a fun movie. Yeah. B for me. Defender Strange was C. 838 Strange is double F. Okay. Yeah, I don't think they were just plot devices once again. And this falls into the whole problem with Doctor Strange, is his powers just make him a plot device. This is the issue. And I 100% agree. Right, Peggy Carter served a purpose. I think we can pretty much throw all of the cameos in here. I think we could throw all the cameos in here because Okay, Mordo. Mordo, we can even Mordo. We can throw Mordo higher up the list, but I think that you throw all the I think you throw. You can put yourself in timeout. You just timed yourself out. Why have you done that? Well, all of the Multiverse of Madness characters, apart from Doctor Strange and Wong, in my opinion, are C. Peggy was B. Illuminati, triple F. People get really hurt. The cameos like John K were killed so easily. How's a stretchy boy going to defeat a reality bender? He doesn't even consider a threat. Hi, Jaden. How we doing? No, well, see, this is the thing. I'm not mad that they got killed. I think it was cool. I think it was a cool scene to show Wanda's power. But I don't know. I think it's just the whole cameo thing with the MCU. Multiverse of Madness is where the cameo thing peaked, and it was kind of just like just tired of the cameos. Just make a good movie. You know what I mean? Just make a good story. Just don't tailor towards the cameos. Miss Marvel. I really like Miss Marvel. I'm really excited for her, and I think she's a really good character. She can go straight to the top of B tier. She's not quite an A. I can't see myself putting her on the same level as Shang-Chi, Black Panther, etc. But I can see her being B. Okay. Well, would you ever do your own take on a Spider-Man series in the format of the SSM videos? What does that mean? Wait, the SSM videos. What's SSM? If so, probably. I'm doing my own take on the Spider-Man series on LewisFilms at some point. What's SSM though? I'm quite confused. But your own version. Miss Marvel is a great character, but I really didn't enjoy the middle part of the show. Miss Marvel is annoying. Hate the character D. The writing too. I really like Miss Marvel. I think she was written well. I think it's because. Oh, Spectacular Spider-Man. Oh, so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm not having a good day. Yeah, I probably would. I'm actually doing that on LewisFilms. I'm doing that on LewisFilms. Yeah. So, Miss Marvel. I think her youthfulness reminded me a lot of Peter Parker, which is why I like her so much. And I love the whole teenage superhero coming of age story. That's one of my personal favorites. And I think it was done well. It was written well. Obviously, if you're of the opinion that you don't really like the coming of age story, that we've seen it too many times, and that's fair enough. I completely understand that. But Miss Marvel, yeah, I really like her character. I think it was written well. It was fine. Wasn't quite the level of Shang-Chi and Black Panther, but it was good. Hi, Ryan. How are we doing? It's really nice that Miss Marvel's actress is a fan of Marvel. Even funnier that Tom Holland spoiled No Way Home for her as well. Yeah, I mean, I love the fact that she's a fan of Marvel. I think that's really cool because that means that she probably played the character for a long time, and she'll be passionate to return. And I don't think we'll have any trouble with her contracts and stuff. I'm sure if she's a good character, I'm sure she'll stick around for a while. Kate Bishop. Once again, Kate Bishop, I think, is in that realm of Miss Marvel as well. She's a high B tier, not quite an A tier just as yet, but very, very good character. Enjoy her very much. Professor Hulk. Professor Hulk is a C tier for me. He's kind of like here. I like that they did the Professor Hulk story, but I think that, obviously, once again, it is held back by the fact that Universal has the distribution rights to a Hulk solo movie, which means that obviously they can't expand and flesh out that character as much as they could. But I'm happy they did it anyway. It's a cool idea. I heard a Spider-Man YouTuber making his own web series called Amazing PSM / Probably Spider-Man. Have you heard of him? Yeah, I know of Probably Spider-Man. I've seen his videos before. He's a pretty cool guy. Yeah, he's actually making his own Spider-Man series because he's an artist, right? So he's making his own series, which is pretty cool. And I'm excited for that. Yeah. Kate Bishop was an A tier. If Toby was here, he would have been an S tier. Yeah, Toby would have been S tier, of course. For coming-of-age stories, MCU should take inspiration from movies like Perks of Being a Wallflower and Art of Getting By. Professor Hulk is low C. Professor Hulk is D, complete joke. Professor Hulk is 100... whatever that is. Whatever that number is, times F. He's the worst character here. Professor Hulk is a D, big L for Lewis. No, I don't mind Professor Hulk. I like Professor Hulk. I like the fact that they did him. And I like the fact that they tried to make an arc for Hulk. He's lower than Hulk. Right, come on. Compare him to these guys. Come on, guys. Come on. Maybe it is an L for me. I don't know. I like Professor Hulk, though. I was probably one of the better parts of She-Hulk. She-Hulk isn't even on here, by the way. Maybe She-Hulk's that bad that it's not even on here. Sorry, Liz, but Professor Hulk it isn't no arc. It kind of is. It kind of is. It's an off-screen arc. Whether it's good or not, that's a different question. We're comparing him to D. Imagine a fight between Reed Richards and Plastic Man. He's worse than Captain Marvel. No, maybe he is. No, it's a failed arc. It was a failed arc. Yeah, maybe I'm nicing him too much. I just like the idea of Professor Hulk. Maybe I am falling into that trap of liking a character. I've become what I swore to destroy. Maybe we do drop him down. Maybe we drop him down to D tier. Okay. Right, okay. Bruce Banner. What are we saying for Bruce Banner? Bruce Banner's an A character. Whenever Bruce Banner's about, he's great. He was great in Avengers. He was great in the second Avengers movie. Dropped off kind of after that, which would drop him down to S, but that's obviously we determined that A is for those characters that have had when it's good, it's really good. When it's poor, it's poor. Concept was nice though. Yeah, concept was nice. I just kind of this is the issue we had. This is the discussion we had earlier on in the stream when we were talking about Hulk. Yeah. Like the issue is with Hulk and Bruce Banner is like they can't make a movie with him, right? They can't make a movie with him, so they have to try and do an arc over 3 movies, which was Ragnarok, Infinity War, and Endgame, and it kind of worked, right? It kind of worked. They couldn't focus on it. Most of it happened off screen, which I think was the issue that most people had. But it still happened. They still gave him a story. Whether it was good or not is obviously of the opinion of you guys and the fans. But he was good in Avengers and Avengers Age of Ultron. I really liked the story of Bruce Banner wanting to deal with being Hulk and not liking that idea, and then obviously going from that to them being accepting of the Hulk and becoming Professor Hulk in Endgame. So I guess his arc does kind of work throughout the entirety of the MCU. It's just that when we get to that point, he kind of gets sidelined a bit. But Bruce Banner in the early MCU was really good, and I really enjoyed him. He was an S. He is an S, but he's not an S. He's an S character in those 2 movies, but then he dropped off after that, so I think that's why he falls to being an A. Peggy Carter. I think she's a solid B. I think she's about. She's probably like there. Maybe she's bottom of B. I like the influence she has over Cap's character, the importance that she plays towards that story. The importance is and was fulfilled, and I think that's what we need to think about here. Peggy Carter had a purpose, and it was fulfilled correctly. Peggy's okay. She's low B, high C. B tier, everyone kind of agrees. Disney should buy Hulk and Spider-Man, period. Hulk I agree with. I'm actually kind of interested to see what Sony do with Spider-Man, though. Thor! Here's an interesting one. I'm going to let you guys vote on this first. Where's Toby, Andrew, and She-Hulk? Well, She-Hulk, I don't know why She-Hulk isn't there. As a devoted Captain America fan, I gotta say Peggy's low B. Yep. Well, that's where she is. That's where she is on the list. Thor is an A every day. A, B, low B. Wow. So we're kind of middle of the park with Thor. Okay. So where's Paul? Paul should be on here. Okay. This is gonna pain me to say this, but Thor is a high A. A high A. He was originally an S. Infinity War Thor was peak Thor. So Thor in the first movie was pretty good. Avengers Thor was pretty good. Dark World Thor, even though the movie's bad, was still decent. Age of Ultron Thor was okay. Did what it needed to do. Ragnarok Thor was amazing. Infinity War Thor was peak Thor. Endgame was a little less, but I still liked him. He was okay. Love and Thunder. It's enough to knock him down because he was an S tier character, consistently good, was getting better and better throughout the MCU, as it went on. But then we got to Love and Thunder, and oh my god, I've never seen a character drop off so dramatically. So dramatically, it was incredible. I don't understand how they ruined a character that was on the up throughout the MCU just that badly. I think the Russos handled Thor the best, and personally, I would not mind if the Russos directed the Thor movie. I think they'd be really. I've said this ever since Infinity War came out. I think the Russos would direct a really good Thor movie. Obviously, at the time, it was kind of less evident because Taika Waititi did a good job with Ragnarok. And thing is, I trust Taika Waititi to make another Thor movie. I just don't think his heart was in it. I think if his heart is in it, I think Taika Waititi can put his mind to something and create something really magical. But Love and Thunder just wasn't it. I think he wanted to go back to doing. I think he wanted to go back to New Zealand, do indie movies. I think he just he wanted to carry on doing what he wanted to do, and I think he got trapped in this big Hollywood thing. Because Taika Waititi isn't a massive Hollywood director. He's more of an indie director. I don't think he wanted to do the movie. That's just my opinion. Just the way it was portrayed. Infinity War Thor was perfect Thor. Absolutely. I 100% agree. 100% agree. Infinity War Thor is one of the best MCU characters we've ever gotten. Infinity War, the Russos know how to handle Thor. They know how to do the goofiness with him, the jokes. They also know how to handle the serious moments, which is why I love Infinity War Thor. Jane Foster, I actually don't think she's bad. I think she was probably one of the best parts of Love and Thunder. I think she's kind of up there. She's like there for me. Should we bring back the W row? The W row. I think we're too much into this now to bring back the W row. But Jane Foster is kind of a mid-pack B. Mid-pack B for me. I actually like her character. One of the best parts of Love and Thunder. Loki. This is a hard one. Is he S? Don't think he's S. Is he high A? Everyone's saying S. S, Loki's S. Loki's A. I think he's high A, low S. Loki's A hero, but S villain. I don't know. No, because I think his arc is becoming a hero, so it's how that transitions. How well that transition is handled. I think it's good. Is it S? He's been consistently good, though. I can't think of one Loki. Like, Loki was one of the best parts of Dark World, right? So I can't think of one Loki performance or one Loki. No, it's not even done yet. Exactly. But I can't think of one thing that Loki was in that was bad. I can't think of one Loki thing that was bad. Does he go low S? I feel like he shouldn't. Dark World was vomit level quality. Yeah, Dark World in itself wasn't very good, but Loki, I enjoyed Loki in that movie. I'm going to have to say he's low S. Because I think, because the way that I've set this up is like, if you're consistently good or great, and you don't really have a poor appearance, he's been consistently decent. Like, all of these characters have been at least consistently decent. You know, Thor, Love and Thunder, Shuri obviously wasn't a main character. T'Challa never got to finish his story. Only had a few appearances. Wanda, Multiverse of Madness. Shang-Chi's only had one movie, so it's too early to judge. Vision was, you know, he's not really one of the main characters. Obviously, Mark Ruffalo's Bruce Banner dropped off. We look at these, Star-Lord, Spider-Man, obviously Far From Home, tiny bit of a dip, but the Far From Home arc ties into the overall Homecoming and No Way Home arc. So, like, you know, you have to kind of judge it as one, not as individually. He was great. Star-Lord, obviously. Gamora as well. Captain America, one of the best characters in the MCU. Oh, I'm going to put him there, actually. Rocket as well. Rocket's probably there. And then Loki. He's high A, but but instant S as soon as his story ties back into the MCU. Yeah, okay. I mean, that's fair enough. If you want to judge it like that, then that's fair enough. I'm going to judge it like this, where he's been around for a while. He hasn't had one bad... He hasn't been bad in anything, I don't think. He hasn't dipped below average in anything, and I think that makes him an S character for me. Okay, Hawkeye. Yo, Thornton, how we doing? Actually, we're really close to the end of the stream. I feel real bad. But, Hawkeye... I think Hawkeye's one of the characters that they actually handled really well in his spin-off series. Because I think he didn't have much to do before, and he got stuff to do in his own show. Hawkeye is underrated so much, he's becoming overrated. He's kind of just there. For me, he's a low A. Clint is a C. C. Everyone's saying C. Holy crap. Surely not. Surely not. His show bumped him up, I believe, anyway. I'm going to say he's probably behind Moon Knight. So we'll put him there. Say he's like a mid-pack B for me. I think a show really saved him. If so, then I would agree with a C. I'd agree with a C to low C, really. Hawkeye is useless in dealing with threats above Ultron. Yeah, I mean, it's not about that, though, is it? It's about how his character's written. Can the stream be at least a bit more longer? Well, I've got to go to work. That's the issue, so I kind of do have to wrap up the stream. And obviously, there's only one man... Hawkeye's show wasn't even about him, though. It was about Kate. Yeah, it was Kate's show, but they did stuff with Hawkeye's family and him wanting to settle down a bit and him suffering from what happened before, and that is doing stuff with his character. That is doing stuff with his character, unlike obviously what they've done with Hulk and She-Hulk and etc. He's overshadowed by the entire MCU. I don't think he's talked about as much. But they did stuff with him in the Hawkeye show. They did stuff with him, which I like. I'm glad he just wasn't there. I'm glad he just wasn't just there and then that's it. Oh, and we're also forgetting about Ronin as well. The whole Ronin arc that he went through because of his family. I think that was good as well. He deserves A+. I don't think he deserves A. I don't think he's that good. I think he's more like mid-pack B for me. What MCU film think was filler? What MCU film was filler? That's a good question. What counts as a filler MCU film? Is that something that doesn't tie into the overarching story? I guess then you could say most of Phase 4 is filler. Tony, obviously, right? He's the best character in the MCU. He is the best character in the MCU. I mean, I think these three, Tony, Spider-Man, and Cap, best three characters of the MCU. Most of the Guardians as well. Like I guess you could say the main three Guardians. 90% of Phase 4 is filler. Yeah, exactly. They didn't do anything new with him in his show other than him being deaf. Everything else was just adding onto the stuff he already had. Would have been great if they explored him more. Yeah, which is why he's mid-pack B, but at least they did stuff with his character. They went more in depth with what we already had, which was great. Because I feel like a lot of the characters that survived from Phase 3 didn't really do much more different. Like Natasha, they did a movie in between Civil War and Endgame, and by that point it was already too late. Because she was dead. So it would have been great if that movie came out before, but obviously, Cap's gone now, Tony's gone. Hulk, we know. Obviously, Professor Hulk, it didn't really work out. Guardians movie are technically filler, but not in a bad way. Guardians movies are filler movies done correctly because they eventually tie into the main story, but they are deviating from like the Earth stuff, which is like the... Okay, Lewis, who's not making out Secret Wars? Give your 3 choices. 3 choices, okay. Who's not making out Secret Wars? Who's not making it out? Probably Doctor Strange. Probably Thor. Probably oh god, this is really hard actually. No, Ant-Man probably Ant-Man as well. Ant-Man, Doctor Strange, and Thor. I'd say are probably my guesses. If that's only because they're the older characters. If it was any of the newer characters, I'd have to probably go with... I don't know. Good question. I actually don't know. Would we lose any of the new characters? I don't think we would. Spidey will die in the first minute. Strange, Bucky, Scott, Wanda are not making it out of Secret Wars. Wanda's a good shout. Bucky's also a good shout, but I don't think he'll die in that. I think it would kind of just be pointless, right? Probably not, but given the state of things, I wouldn't be surprised. Probably most of the Eternals will die. Oh yeah, let's just kill the franchise. Just kill the whole franchise. Only Spider-Man will be making out alive because of Sony. Spider-Man finishes arc. Yeah, but they're doing 4, 5, and 6, so the likelihood that they kill him is pretty low. Pretty low. Anyway, I need to wrap up the stream because I've got places to be. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. It's been a pleasure once again to having you guys on the stream. I will be streaming next Friday. Once again, be there. It should be around 5 p.m. UK time, but I'll be posting on the community post, so make sure you have the notifications on, the notification bell on next to the subscribe button, so you can be informed when we go live next Friday. Make sure to be notified. I will be giving updates on the community tab as well, so make sure you're well aware of the community tab. So yeah, with that being said, thank you very much, and I'll see you guys. Flash trailer, please. Yeah, we'll talk about the Flash trailer in the next stream. If I don't make a video on it, for the members, because I might do that, but I don't know. We'll see if I have the time, because I've got a lot of essays due. But anyway, we'll see in a bit, guys.